Welcome to the awesome Apex Legends movement guide. In this video, I'm going to show you everything to do with movement in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa. So movement in Apex Legends wins you games hands down. Once you understand how to move, you can get into all kinds of positions, you'll last longer, you'll just be a beast, right? An absolute animal. So the first thing we need to learn is how to drop correctly, because we have to get down to the ground before anybody else to get the best loot. Because if you land late or you land in an area where there's already people, you're just going to get killed because you won't have weapons. So the correct way to drop is not to aim directly at your target. Watch what I'm doing here. I'm dropping down in steps, so I'm going to drop down now. As I start dropping down, watch my speed increase. Goes up to 145. Then I level out again. See how you can move pretty much level when you drop out of the ship. Drop down, and I'm going to sort of level it off again. Then I'm going to go straight down. And watch, I'm going to land smack bang on the door to the bunker. This means I can run straight in and get the loot. Now, this isn't a fluke. This is something which you can do over and over and over and over and over again. So watch, I'm going to do it again. I literally do this every single game. Right now, bunker is a really hot place to drop. You get inside the bunker first. There'll be really good loot. You can take control of it. It's kind of easy to deal with, like with sight lines and stuff. So bunker's a really good place to drop, but you can use this to drop anywhere. Watch, again, we're dropping down. So we're leveling out at 140-ish kind of thing. We drop down. We go to like 151-ish, then we sort of start leveling it out. Now, there is a correct science to this, but what I want you guys to do is just go down in steps. Do not just fly straight to the target. And again, look, smack bang at the door. We can get in there and we can get the loot. Okay, let's talk about balloons. These are awesome for moving around the map. However, you can use them to get to drop ships, which we're about to do here in this clip. But you can use these to just travel long distance, get all over the place. So if you're miles away from the next ring, you can use the nearest balloon to rapidly move. And again, it's kind of like being dropped out of the drop ship, but just not from the height of the drop ship. But it's also a pro tip, like use the balloons to move around. They're really good. Okay, let's talk about sliding, because sliding is massive. All right then, so I'm sprinting here. I don't have my weapons on. I'm sliding, but I jumped at the end of the slide. You conserve momentum after you finish sliding. That means you get a mini sort of boost forward. All right, let's take a look at this in combat. So I'm going to push forward here onto an enemy wraith. I've got eyes on, it's cool. I'm going to slide towards her. I'm going to start getting shots on her. She did turn around to try and fire at me, but she didn't really take a shot. Now, she could have been a bad player, but the thing is, when you slide, you are much more difficult to hit. All right, so there's a Bloodhound example here. I'm using the ultimate with Bloodhound. I'm going to pressure this lifeline, take her out. It's cool, it's easy. But then I start taking fire. I'm like, oh my God. So what I do is I use the ground, I use the slope to slide away. It makes you move faster when you slide down hills, but also it reduces your profile when you slide, so you are much more difficult to hit. So now I'm trying to work out where the fire is coming from. I think I've got a good idea. I kind of know it's sort of through this house somewhere. I'm checking around. Then I get eyes on because I'm Bloodhound. I got my ultimate active, swap to a better weapon, which is the flatline, and take that guy out range, and I win that fight. But that's because I'm moving around proactively. You never stop moving in this game. You master movement and you will be so, so good. So let's talk about moving on the flat. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm sprinting with my weapons holstered. Now, to do this on PC, you press 3. I'm not sure what the control is on console, but anytime you're not in combat, you should never have your weapons equipped, because you will move faster sprinting around. The only time you want to sprint around when you've got your weapons equipped is if you know there's enemies near. What I'm doing here, though, is sliding every now and again as I'm sprinting. So I'm reaching top speed as a sprint, then I slide. You conserve a very tiny amount of momentum, so you actually move a little bit faster if you keep doing this. You will move quicker than if you were just sprinting. It's not massively faster, but it's a little bit. Also, you can jump at the end of the slide, and that'll give you a little bit of a boost. I mean, this is really minor, but it might help you. But just get into the habit of sliding anyway, because sliding reduces your profile, so you're much harder to hit. So if you keep sliding as you're moving, you're going to be cool. Obviously, as well, when you slide down hills, you just go quicker. And if you jump at the end of it, you can literally launch yourself, like I showed in the earlier clip. Okay, let's talk about zip lines, because you can actually jump onto a zip line at any sort of area on the line. You don't have to be at the start or the end of the zip line to use it. You can jump towards it. So watch this. I'm going to sort of, oh, there's the zip line, but I'm going to jump off the edge and grab it. You can grab the zip line at any position and it will activate the zip line, and you'll go up or down depending on which direction you're going in. Also, the map is beautifully designed in this game. Watch this. So I've wall climbed up there, and we'll get onto wall climb in a second, but I've wall climbed up onto this wall. I can then jump across onto this. I can then jump across onto that. The map is designed for parkour. They have built a beautiful map here, guys. So look around and be clever. Okay, so sliding and jumping at the end, as we've just seen again there, does make you propel off a high sort of obstacles, or you can fly off cliffs, and this is good, right? Because it means you move quicker, because moving quicker means you get to areas faster, which means you can get loot quicker, which means you can flank the enemy quicker, and all of that jazz, ladies and gentlemen, which is the good thing about it. So obviously always slide when you're going downhill. There is literally no point not to do it. Just get into the habit of doing it. But I find sliding all of the time just as you're running around does make you slide more. Now notice here, I'm doing a bit of sprint jumping there off the wall onto the roof. There's loads of this in the game, loads of parkour stuff you can do. Okay, so let's take a look at a gameplay example. Now, as this just runs a little bit, let's just cover wall climbing. Because when you wall climb, it's dead simple. You jump up to the wall, but you keep pressing forward, right, as you've jumped, and then you will grab the wall and sort of do another jump, but climbing the wall. But you don't have to jump to do it. So you jump, press forward, keep pressing forward, hold forward, and you will scuttle up the wall. And you will get to positions that you don't think you can actually get to, which is super cool and really good. Okay, in this gameplay example here, I want you guys to understand, just don't respect the zone at all. Look how much damage you take from the zone. It is so minimal. Don't be afraid of using it to outflank the enemy. My team have been battered here. They're both down. I know where the enemy are coming from, so what I'm trying to do is flank. Look, they kind of didn't expect me to be here. They thought I'd be somewhere over there because, well, that's where it's safe. That's where it's not inside the zone. The thing is, though, well, I can just run through it because I'm going to take a little bit of damage, and it's fine, right? And I managed to take this guy out here. I mean, he sort of takes me on, whatever. If he wants to take me on, that's fine. I'll take him on. And notice again, look, I'm sliding around corners. Just going to get the kill on that guy. Then I'm going to go back to go and take on these other guys. But just keep sliding, just keep moving. I get the buff there from Bangalore, which, by the way, this is why Bangalore is most likely the best character in the game right now when it comes to straight up brawling, because when she's being fired at, she gets a movement boost. So she can actually go quicker. So as you're sliding around when people are trying to shoot at you, it's like really, really good. So you can see I've took the high ground here just to give myself a bit of protection. It's the same goes, right? High ground is really, really good in a lot of games, but it's super good in this game because if you're shooting from above, you've got a massive advantage. And with the way the wall climb system works, where you just run, you jump, you keep running forward, and you will scuttle up to high positions. That is really, really good, and you've got to get used to using it. Also, as well, just jumping over walls and all of that good stuff. So let's go back to abusing the zone here. So I don't care, right? It's like, whatever, I'm going to take a bit of damage, but if I ran directly towards those guys, or I was actually not in the zone, they'd be able to see me easier. In the zone, it's difficult to see, right? They can't really see. It's very hard to make out where people are, especially if you're really close to it, because the shield effect does kind of hide your position. So I managed to get around here. I know there's a fight going off there. I know there were guys there, but I don't really want to take them on because I want to try and get my guys back. Guys, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. This has been a movement guide for Apex Legends. Key tips to take away from this are, firstly, if you want to get to a high position, remember you can jump, keep pressing forward when you're near a wall, and you will scuttle up the wall, kind of double the height you would if you just jumped at the wall. Always slide when you are sprinting. Do this because primarily it makes you more difficult to hit. And there are little ways where it gives you a little bit of a movement boost, but mainly you're doing this not to get shot. Always slide when you're going down a hill. There is literally no example where you shouldn't really be doing that. Unless you want to, I guess, res somebody, or there's a bit of cover you want to stick by on the hill. I don't know. Always slide going downhill. Get into the habit of jumping when you finish a slide, especially when it's downhill or off a building or off a cliff, because you'll get a mega movement boost. Because what happens is you keep the momentum. So the speed you were going sliding, you just carry on going in the air. So really good. All right, guys. I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you've got any other pro movement tips, stick them in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos on Apex Legends because, well, the game is absolutely awesome, and I'm really, really enjoying this. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.